don't want to bankrupt Cora. Yes, the one before that who wants to go for round two, debating. Herbivore, hello.
Yeah. So yeah, I can just kind of like lay out the structure of what I'm saying without like
Okay,
putting in any particular demographic. Like
okay, yeah.
I think the reasoning that's operating here in the background is just that, well, if we gain net less suffering than otherwise would take place, then the action we utilize to get there is permissible. And I think that runs into some counterintuitive conclusions. Like, say we were breeding some X population of humans into existence for the purpose of creating net less suffering on the aggregate, right?
But if it's net less suffering, what would be wrong with it?
Yeah, given that we have alternatives that we can achieve net less suffering without breeding humans, that would be the wrong-making feature because we're still creating suffering.
So how can we achieve less net suffering without animal agriculture?
Yeah, so if you wanted to, so like if the thing you're talking about is just that there's a whole bunch of suffering that's happening from like predation and like insects and stuff like that that are living among themselves and like preying on each other and stuff like that. I think that's what you're talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong because I don't want to
It's not
stop.
just insects. There's lots of different types of animals.
No, yeah, for sure. I agree with that. So if we could utilize an alternative, like just like
Like
taking
what?
flamethrowers to the lands, or like setting like chemical
Yeah,
weapons, bioweapons upon the lands,
you can't do that though,
why can't you do that?
because the police will stop you.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Yeah, I don't really care about the legality of it. I'm just thinking about it.
You'll get arrested and you'll never be able to do activism ever again. So
Look,
that's not a smart
I
thing.
understand that's a practical limitation. I'm just talking about like in theory.
Well,
Morally, would it be permissible to
we
do
should
this?
keep it in the real world, really.
Well, I understand. Look, I agree that it's going to be like some sort of practical limitation there, but I'm more interested in if that would be a more suitable alternative to you in theory that would be more palatable, more permissible, given that we don't have to breed
Like
animals
I
into
said,
existence.
when we are the government and we close down the animal farms, we will try to make it so that it doesn't cause more wild animal suffering. But nobody's going to do that right now. If you close down an animal farm now, it will cause more wild animal suffering. So we can only solve that problem when we're in a position to solve it.
Well, I mean, okay, so then if I'm understanding you correctly, then you agree with me that, like, yeah, it would be the right thing to do to just not farm animals at all and still achieve the outcome of, um, you know, causing all the uh, all the wild predation and forms of suffering to end, right?
If we can stop the wild animal suffering, then yeah. I mean, we should stop both. But at the minute, you can only stop. You can only go vegan, right? You can't stop wild animal suffering right now unless you eat meat, actually, right? So yeah, if you want
Well,
to
I don't think that's
reduce
true.
if you want to reduce suffering right now, you should eat meat essentially. But you should also do activism for the end of animal farming and the end of wild animal suffering and human suffering and all suffering.
Okay, so let's say that in the hypothetical where we're breeding some X demographic of humans, that it's illegal for us to go and lay waste to the lands where the indigenous people are, fighting and having wars happening. There, it seems like you're committed to saying that the best thing to do is to keep breeding in humans into existence just so we can eat them, right?
Yeah, but again, that is the only option right now. So there is no alternative with
Yeah,
animal.
I mean, that's just like the unpalatable conclusion that I think this sort of reasoning reaches, right? It's
What do you
like,
mean?
okay, yeah, like
What the
your
basically
reasoning
the
implies that.
unpalatable reasoning is that we will do the right thing even if it looks ugly, basically. Yeah. So we will make difficult decisions. That's a good thing, not a bad thing.
It's a good thing to breed humans into existence if it stops like wars. just so that we can eat the
Yes.
humans, like
Yes.
grape them, torture them, mutilate them. All of that's a good thing just because we can stop wars from happening.
Well, we need. I mean, yeah, basically, yeah. But it's not
Yeah, I
just
mean,
wars, right? You're
yeah,
straw manning again.
I
You're
think
straw
that's
manning
where the
again
reasoning
by
goes wrong.
you're straw manning again just by saying it will stop wars, right?
Okay, well, yeah, not just stop
But
wars.
the
We can
straw mans
just
really don't help,
look.
right?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Here, look.
You know,
We'll say that we get net less suffering. We get 1% net less suffering
but
just
again, that's
because.
another straw man, right? It's completely straw, right? There's nothing material, nothing accurate about what you're saying. It's
No, that is
it's
the structure
very
of the reasoning
very
that you're
dishonest.
offering.
No.
What? Okay, what part do you think I
Extinction
straw
wouldn't
man?
have a 1% reduction in suffering, would it?
No. I mean 1% net less.
Okay, well, why would it be worse if it reduces suffering?
Yeah, because
How can it be worse?
yeah, I mean, look, there's plenty of other normative theories that still reach a conclusion that you're doing something wrong, even if
Like what?
you get because like all you're invoking right now is some sort of like extreme like hardline utilitarian reasoning, and there's plenty of other normative theories that would
No,
say
we're
something
just
like,
invoking
look,
logic.
even if you get less suffering on the aggregate, even if you have to do something to get that involves causing suffering yourself, you're still doing something wrong. So you still
Really?
shouldn't do that.
So if we took that example to the extreme, would you refuse to hurt one animal if it saves a billion animals?
Okay, wait, repeat the question.
Would you refuse to hurt one animal if it saves a billion animals?
Would I refuse to? Not necessarily. I do think there might
So
be
you see how what you
a
said makes no
threshold.
sense. What you said
It's
makes
not.
no sense.
Look. I agree with you. There could be a threshold by which it just like it does turn out in that
No,
favor.
there is no threshold. As soon as one is worse than the other, then it doesn't make sense to choose the worse one.
Okay,
Right?
well, okay. I think that reasoning goes wrong because, like, let's say
Really?
we have to
So
like
choosing
here.
the
Wait,
worse
here. I'll give you
one
the
is the
example.
right thing to do, in your opinion.
I'll give you. Well, that when you say it's the worst one, that's just question begging, right?
How?
Because you could.
If there's more suffering, how is it not worse?
Yeah. Okay. Look, because the type of action that you could commit, in virtue of you being the one who commits the action, is something that could be cashed out as being more wrong than
How?
just. Yeah, because there's other normative theories that you aren't taking into account here.
But
But look, here I'll give you the
argument.
example.
That's not an
I'll give you the example to do the intuition pump. Like, let's say that in order to save like 2 people from unaliving, I have to go and grape one individual. Do you think it's permissible for me to
That's
go and
different.
grape?
That is different, right? That's very different.
Okay, well, let's say that they're gonna experience tons of suffering, right? And there's gonna be more suffering that's happening in the
Look,
two
it's
individual
simple. If
cases.
something has more suffering, it's worse, right? It doesn't matter how ugly it is, how difficult it is for you emotionally.
Then we should go and grape the one person so that we don't cause the.
We should do
extreme amounts
whatever
of
is the
suffering.
right thing to do.
Yeah, I mean that's
No
where
matter
the
how
reasoning goes
difficult,
wrong.
no matter how difficult the right thing is, we should do it, and we shouldn't say,
just-
"Ooh, it's embarrassing."
It's not just that it's embarrassing. Something extremely morally wrong is happening that you're partaking in.
Right, but you're saying we should go for the even worse version.
Well, when you say it's even worse, that's just question begging.
This is by your words, right? You said we should favor the worst thing if it looks better, basically.
No, look, what I'm saying is that you're reasoning
Is that not exactly
because
what you're saying? That's what vegans do with
Here,
farmed animals.
I'll let you
right?
know. I'll let you know exactly what I'm
support
saying.
something which is worse if it makes us feel better and looks better.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
If the optics
That's not
are
what I'm
better, we should. Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying.
No, that's a straw man, James.
It's not.
James,
it's what
that's
you've
a
been
straw.
saying
That's
the
obviously
entire
a straw
argument.
man.
It's not.
That's obviously a straw man.
It's literally what you've been saying the entire argument.
I haven't said that a
looks,
single time.
If something looks worse, then it's automatically worse, even if it's actually better. That's completely upside down thinking.
I just don't think we should discount any sort of like deontological reasoning because
That's just
it reaches
ridiculous, right?
it just
This is just
because it
nonsense,
reaches
right?
conclusions like we should
Deontology
grape one
is
person.
just a waste of time, right? This is why I say philosophy is bad for you, because it prevents you from thinking correctly. It's like brain rot, right? Philosophy is actually really bad for your brain.
Do you want to just engage with like the hypothetical for one more second?
No,
like, and then I'll just be done.
no,
Like, look,
I don't want to engage with the straw man anymore. No, and it is hilarious that you're literally